I'm here at White Smoke and Ash with the owner, Don, and his wife, Passion. How was your relationship with the police?
The relationship was non-existent or not established. Most minority businesses, sometimes, you labeled as a problem in the community. When you look at a person, you see a color, you see a person, and you just automatically think he's a threat, you need to address that bias. People don't understand. We all have biases. It's just, are you aware of those? Are you unconscious of them, or do you know what to do with them?
What would you want out of your sheriff of Will County?
I would want my chief of police, sheriff to be well-versed on diversity.
I am the only African-American in command at the sheriff office. That's just unheard of. And our computer-based training tells us about diversity, but we don't implement it in our office. Could you tell me some of the challenges you face?
It was a fire right in the room behind us. We bought this building without inspection or appraisal. We really just went off faith in God that we were making the right decision. We were ignorant to what we were or what we knew, or we were ignorant to the industry as a whole. When we first bought the building and got into this culture, we had resources, but very little direction. Was no playbook for this. 95%, maybe higher, would not have completed this project because there was that many things going on behind the scenes, that many things that we found out during the build that most people would either gave up or ran out of money.
Hello, everyone. I'm Patrick Jones. As you know, I'm running for Will County Sheriff, and I'm here with the business owner, Don, who owns the White Smoke and Ash. That's it, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir.
He and his wife own this business together, which I think is amazing. You can start a business with one of your best friends. How long have you been married, Don?
25 years I've been married.
25 years. That's amazing. And so what is the key to staying married that long?
Saying yes, dear.
So your place is amazing, first of all.
Thank you.
I like the paint that you got in here. I like every little single detail that you have at your business. Let me ask you this. What made you want to start a cigar lounge?
The people. The people. We always was a couple that love people. It's a beautiful culture. When it's ran right, it's a beautiful culture. And when people stick to their morals, when people respect each other, when people do things the right way, this is an amazing culture. It's not always done that way, but definitely it is amazing culture when people decide to do things the right way. So I don't believe there's no better culture than the cigar culture because you can meet people from all kind of diverse backgrounds. You can grow with people, and it all starts with the leaf, and it's just to me an opportunity to make the world a better place when you have the cigar culture.
A lot of camaraderie that comes with that.
For sure.
Yes,
for sure.
yes. I noticed coming in, you have 25 years of age, no exception.
No, it actually says exceptions made at manager's discretion.
Oh, okay, I got you.
No, and that's very important because we do have, if you grandfathered in, if you've been here before we changed it, we do allow you to come in.
Okay.
So if one of our members bring you in and you're under over 21, but younger than 25, we do let them in. Okay. So that's the discretion we
Okay,
have.
what made you want to go with that rule?
Because we wanted our clientele, our customers to be mature. I'm not saying that anybody over 21 is not mature, but we believe that age is when you're coming into your own, and it was just a number age that we do believe that we took our experiences and how we were at 25 and believe that you can fit in this culture. We wanted to do it for our members. We wanted to do it for the people who wanted that peace of mind, that quiet time, and not saying that all people over 21 but younger than 25 want to turn up, but we just didn't want to have the mixing of those people who are looking for a party and then those who want to come to a traditional lounge.
I see. Could you tell me some of the challenges you face? I know we were talking earlier, like you had to totally rehab it. Did it have a fire or?
Yes. The building, it was a fire right in the room behind us. What was amazing about that is that we bought this building without inspection or appraisal. We really just went off faith in God that we were making the right decision. But we are glad that we did it that way because three things. If we would have had a commercial loan, we didn't get a commercial loan. We actually funded this ourselves.
Really?
We went in our 401. I sold old school cars. My wife retired. We took our 401. Then we went to the house and we refinanced the house. All those things to get by this cash. And it was to me a great investment because we was able to close on it and then not have a mortgage on it. And the good thing about that is because we didn't have an inspection, we were finding out things. We found out that all the trusses under this floor we standing on right now were burnt up. We found out that the windows right there were rotted out. But the thing about it is, if we would have took a commercial loan and they had an inspection, it would have failed it.
Right.
So they wouldn't have funded this project. But we went on faith and we found those things and we corrected those things, and we are able to be where we at right now today.
Right.
So we know what's behind all the walls. We know it's over 400 sheets of drywall. I GC'd the job. My wife interior decorated the job.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we didn't have a GC. We didn't have interior decorator. We didn't have an architect. All those things we did on our own. We raised ceilings. We did vaulted ceilings. All those different things, and just off faith, because we didn't do those things prior to this. This is our first ever rehab. First ever, and commercial, I was finding people off Marketplace, some awesome people.
Okay.
And I have relationships with them today and to this day.
Good. You said something very powerful. As you know, and we have had a couple of discussions, I'm running for Will County Sheriff. And faith is what's pushing me that way. And you got to have faith, whether you make it or not. Faith keeps you going. And wanting to do things better in the community.
Yes, sir.
Wanting to put things in the jail. I always say, we put people down in the jail and you just make a better criminal. You put more criminals together, okay? You want to have something for them to do. Me going to DuPage County Jail, seeing what they have, the trades that they have for the detainees down there. And also you want to try to correct behavior, give them an outlet. I grew up in an adverse community. We talked a little bit where you grew up at. And some people didn't have all that direction. So if you could put things in perspective and in place for them, I think that can make them better people. You know what I'm saying?
Totally agree.
I want to do things like, they have small injury repair. You can get certified in your sanitation license. Something for them to look forward other than go back out and recommit crimes and cut down recidivism rate. And all that comes from my faith in God. My faith that, hey, if this is meant for me, he's going to give it to me. I was talking to you earlier, I can want all I want. But if it's not in God's plan, something better will come along. It has to be in God's plan. I want to talk a little bit about when you first came up, how was your relationship with the police? Being opening up in a business in the community, how was it?
I would say the relationship was non-existent or not established. Okay. And that's fair. That's fair. And what I actually would say to anyone getting in business, you have to be able to show the community you can do good work. And I don't blame the decision makers in this town. They couldn't just trust us that we was going to do good work.
Right.
We could say anything without what I'm out, but you have to show that. And I do think that me being on a corporate diversity and inclusion council allowed me to be able to have those hard conversations with the police on what they expect, experiences they've been having with minorities. So many things we spoke about, but we asked them to give us opportunity to show them that we can do good work. And I would say that our relationship is amazing, because what I believe started that relationship to be on the right track is that we didn't give them any issues. We had one incident in 4 years we owned this one. Okay. And that incident, we actually called them. Okay. Nobody called. Don White called. And the reason I want to highlight that is because most minority businesses, sometimes, you labeled as a problem in the community. Yeah. But we actually been, to me, a blessing in this community, because this building was an eyesore. And this actually the gateway to the community behind us. Yes. And we beautified this building. We put all our resources in this building. And when you come past this building, it just stand out. And people see how beautiful this building is. We did everything from the roof, the siding, the patio, wrought iron gates, all those things we did. And the thing that I do believe that the relationship with the mayor, not only just the police, but the mayor, is because the work showed. And the work spoke for that relationship, and they trusted us and they believed in us, and we committed to doing good work. Right.
Again, that goes back to me running for sheriff. Being in the community, talking to people, and trying to figure out what their problems are. If needed, what can we do to make the place better? I want to go over some of what brought you these ideas. What brought you the chair? I see, everything is just intricate. I look at the doors, the carving in the doors, and I commended you on that.
Yes, sir.
I look at the floors, I look at the recessed lights.
Yes, sir.
Everything is just this perfect for it emulates relaxation.
Excellent.
You know what I'm saying?
I would say, my wife, it starts with her. Okay. She is very good at understanding of what is hot, what is nice, what is she's big on research. She goes on Pinterest, she Googles it. You know, I think about the story when we got gold accents. And I remember the guy who was actually helping me do a lot of work in his name, Martise. He said, "Man, this lounge is beautiful, but I cannot get with the gold accents." And he just told me a story that everything is going to gold accents now because he do renovation. And he laughed at that so much because my wife was actually ahead of her time. They didn't know it was something that was hot. She did because she did the research.
Right.
But I would say me and her work very well together because everything she wants, she give me opportunity to research. And what I would say is, I could show you these furniture that we did so many different things. A lot of this furniture was recovered. A lot of this furniture came off Marketplace. A lot of it came off Rut. Why so that's so important is it because if we went to the store and said, "Give me all this furniture," either they won't have it or we wouldn't been able to afford it.
Right, correct.
But when you do the research, and what I mean by that is that I'm nosy by nature. I'm gonna tell you how I found the lady who actually recovered all the chairs on the other side, all the chairs in that whole entire room in the back. I was on Marketplace and this lady had a chair for sale. I'm like, it said newly reupholstered. I sent her a message, said, "Did you do this?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Do you do upholstery?" She said, "No, I did this chair." I said, "Would you do other chair?" She said, "Yeah, I would." And I said, "Say less." I took her these great chairs. Actually, we can look at them, and I could point out. I took her these great chairs, and I was finna throw the chairs away.
Oh wow!
And she brought them back to life. And it was on me and her relationship. She's actually in Joliet, man. Beautiful, man. Did everything by hand. And she saved us so much money because if I tried to go buy barrel chairs with the bones that they have, because the furniture that we have has to be able to be something that people can sit in, rugged, be able to handle people of our size, all those different. It can't be anything that's like a potato chip. Chip, you sit on it and then it just falls apart.
Right.
It has to be, and
sturdy.
If you look at the comfortability of our furniture.
Very comfortable,
and that's what we did. So everything had a story, man. And that's why I'm so proud of this lounge because me and my wife we had resources, but very little direction. It was no playbook for this.
Right.
We made mistakes. We learned. We got back up, and we didn't let each other fail. We never stayed on the ground. When we failed, we got back up, learned, and kept going. And if you didn't, and I would say with this, the challenges that we had, the shape the building was in, the money that it cost, 95%, maybe higher, would not have completed this project because there was that many things going on behind the scenes, that many things that we found out that during the build that most people would either gave up or ran out of money. But by the grace of God, we did not because, again, we leaned on each other. You know, my family did help me at the end when you need something, and it was just a blessing. We had friends that came and just blessed us with with care packages, with gifts, with money because they seen the work. And then we very proud of the community and the resources that and support that we had.
Good. Man, that's awesome. Did you ever dream that you were going to end up being an entrepreneur?
Yeah, I would say owning something, yes, but
nothing to this extravagant.
No, cigar lounge. I tell my wife, and this is the beauty about just me and her being the decision makers. We don't have any silent partners, just me and her. Right. I love that we sit around and talk about this, what we have done so much, and it's so awesome to be able to run so many things by her. And I said, would have thought 5 years ago you would have been owning a cigar lounge? And she said no, because I did. But look at the beauty in this. I told her the other day in the podcast that we did, she worked at Borg Warner Automotives for 24 years. I never seen her work one day. Never seen her work in one day. 24 years she worked there. I get to see her at work every day. Every day. That's beauty. And I get to see her, man, grow in this business. She have learned so much. I'm so proud of her. She run the business because I travel for my job. I just came back from Plattsburgh, New York. She actually runs the business while I'm not here with the support of some people that we hire or some of our members help her out be here, but she can run everything here without me holding her hand.
Wow, that's awesome. Seems like you got a passion for it. Just like I'm gonna go back to with me and law enforcement. You know, I've been with the sheriff office for 24 years. During my tenure with the sheriff office, I worked corrections. Okay. I worked patrol division. I was in crime scene investigator. Now I'm assistant team leader with the crisis negotiating team. Okay. I tell people I've handled everything from being ambushed by gunfire to negotiating a guy with a pistol to his head, to telling them to bring it down, you know, to not harm himself. Letting him understand that he has something to live for. And I actually have taken that brother out to lunch, and we have went out, and we still talk to this day.
Excellent.
And he's doing great. He has since moved and he's living in Florida, but he's doing great. So, and that's one of the reasons why I want to be sheriff, you know, to help the community. We are truly servants of this community. We need to really realize that. I want to put the proper institutions into place. As far as some of our officers go traumatic things. I mean, you'd be surprised, man. They look up on death daily, whether it's natural or whether somebody has taken somebody's life, or your horrific car accidents that you have. We have to deal with that. You want to make sure you put the proper institutions in place to deal with them psychologically to go back in the field and serve the people. Tell me a little bit about where you're from, where you grew up at.
Okay, I grew up in Maywood, Illinois. I've been in Maywood all my life. We moved. I still have ties. My mother's in Maywood. A lot of my friends still in Maywood. I actually came out here in 2001. Brought my children out here just for the schooling, really for the schooling. And we've been out here ever since then. And then, again, I'm a plant manager. My plant is right down the street, 11 minutes away. So this location, it checks all the boxes. 11 minutes away from my 9 to 5, or it's not a 9 to 5, but my job that I love. I love my job because of the support, the team that I have. And again, I deal with people all day, so that fits who I am. And then my home is 14 minutes away from here, so it's central to what we have. And again, you know, I come past it. You know, most mornings I stop on my way to work. You know, look at it, keep going. You know, but it's just the fact that it's where it is, and not only that, the community is growing. If you look at Plainfield Rd, I know the mayor of Joliet was talking about what he's going to, his vision for Plainfield Rd, the Joliet Mall area, and we got into this business at the right time.
Right time.
I mean, you know, and a lot of people don't understand, you know, when we make good business decisions, we don't just think about cigars, we think about the property value, this always growing. This thing we protecting is equity. We protect the equity as well, because that's a dollar figure. When you look at that and people be like, well, yeah, you got to protect the business. You got to protect the land as well, because it's constantly growing. It's in a place that's showing growth. It's people that's buying out here, building out here, and we want to make sure that we in the proper place and keep a good relationship with the community, so they don't run us out or drive us out, or we give them a reason to give up on us.
Will County is exploding in population.
Yes.
It seems like every time I look up, you got a new warehouse coming up. We have the intermodal here. I hear they're building another one in Shanaheim, but it's going to be in Grundy County, but it's going to lap up over into Will County, of course. Did anyone in your family ever own a business? Or
No.
So you're the first true entrepreneur.
This is, yes. And
first generation.
As far as when I would say something that's a brick and mortar things of this, especially something that's, I would say, service-based, we have no examples of that, really. You know, I had a friend on a record shop. I got a friend that owned his own truck, friend that owned his own construction company, one that owned his own cement company. So I know people who own business.
Gotcha.
But as far as the cigar community, we were brand new. We actually talked about this word, and people so afraid of this word. We were ignorant to what we were or what we knew, or we were ignorant to the industry as a whole when we first bought the building and got into this culture. But what I'm excited about is that we understand that ignorance is not a bad word. That's just lack of knowledge.
That's it.
But if you look at us now versus what we 3 years ago, it's night and day.
Right.
You know, again, when you learn, you have to be vulnerable to and let people know that, man, I don't know this, and you have to listen.
Right.
And then I was telling you about our men's workshop, our fire talk.
Right.
Those are the things that we talk about. Everything that you was talking about earlier, you know, men and trauma, what we need to grow as men, what this community needs, and all those things. And what's so powerful about that talk, that fire talk, that men's conversations that we having, is that we built on the last Tuesday that we had, we built out subject matter. And what we did is we went around to everybody in the room and asked them what did they want from this group and what they passionate about. And you will never believe the subject matter that we got. We captured that. We said we're going to grow on that. And I do believe we got enough data to meet for the next 10 years.
Wow.
That's how powerful that data was. And not only that, that's how widespread these subjects are. If you talk about mental health, you talk about men and finances, you talk, the community needs all that. that, and I
All
hear
of
you
it.
talking about that.
Right, right. And that makes us better, right? If we can make ourselves better, we can become better in the community. And I will be coming to one of those fire talks, but
Hey, man, I'm looking
I
forward
had
to it.
I had a previous event and I couldn't make it.
It's
So,
no worries.
but I'm coming to one.
Okay, yeah, and we meet one Tuesday a month. We just pick the one that fits up around my travel, things that sort, because I do, like I said, I travel for work. I'm traveling in August, but we definitely gonna fit it in there because the people want it. And when you get they buy-in and they built that subject matter, then you can grow that. You can grow because you don't want Don White to have all the subject.
No,
It's no power in
No.
that. The power is when people committed to it because they buy into it because it's their subjects that they told you that they want to know about.
Right.
And that's what's so powerful about what we're doing.
Right. And let me ask you this. What would you want out of your sheriff of Will County or out of a police chief? How would you want that office to be run? What is your ideal office that you think can serve the community?
That's an awesome question because, I'm actually going to answer this question based off my experiences. And that's the thing. But I think I'm going to be able to answer this question from a business owner, a business leader, and person, and being on a corporate diversity and inclusion team. The first thing that I would want my leader, chief of police, sheriff to be is well-versed on diversity. That to me is very important. Very important. And what I mean by that is he's willing and understanding to deal with people of any kind, any color, any creed. And he was not shaken. He gonna treat them the same. And who they are does not drive his interactions with them. So to me, you have to understand your biases. You have to be connected to your biases. People don't understand. We all have biases. It's just, are you aware of those? Are you unconscious of them, or do you know what to do with them? Because when you look at a person, you see a color, you see a person, and you just automatically think he's a threat. You need to address that bias.
Yeah.
You need the proper training, the proper help, the proper understanding on how can I not judge that person without understanding if he's a threat or not. So the first thing I would say is a person or a leader or a chief of police or a sheriff that understand biases, unconscious bias, and diversity and inclusion. That's number one. I think you can grow, you can help the community, you can deal with anybody if you can understand diversity and inclusion. And what I mean by that, if you search the words associated with diversity and inclusion, it's so many words, man. It's allyship. It's not all bad words.
No.
If you look at allyship, that means you trying to understand how to deal with people. You look at microaggression. People don't even know they use that microaggression in so many ways because people don't know what that means. But those, to me, I think a good leader, a good sheriff would train his people on those things. Because if you look at the world today and how things go sideways, it's mostly based off the not understanding of what you're dealing with. And I think that what I would want for my sheriff is the diversity. I would understand the community, what's needed, what programs he can create on how to grow the community. That's what I would want for my leader.
So a little bit about myself, right?
Okay.
Going back to me, I am the only African-American in command
Okay.
at the sheriff office,
Okay.
which I think that's just unheard of. You got other police departments like JPD, they're well diverse. And our computer-based training tells us about diversity, but we don't implement it in our office. Even some of our training as being an assistant team leader with crisis negotiation team, sometimes if you'll have somebody from a different culture, if they're on the team, you'll have that person negotiate with them to try to come, because it's a de-escalation tool, right? As Denzel Washington once said, I know what it feels to have a hot comb going through your hair, or you know the smell of it, You know some of the struggles that other races go through. So you try to match them up with those people. And I think it's just better all that the police department mirrors the community is better for the community.
Yeah.
And like I say, de-escalation tactic, interacting better with the community. We have a heavy Hispanic population that's growing in the community. We should be hiring more Latinos to speak that. Like I say, it's all about serving the community.
Yes.
And I think that's a better outcome when you hire these people.
Yes.
Train them up properly, how to deal with mental illness, and how to deal with people in difficult situations, right? Because usually when the police come around, it's not all good. And sometimes it's something that happened, somebody either burglarized or it's a fight or something like that. but learn how to de-escalate those situations and deal with people in difficult times and being sensitive to their needs.
No, and I think what you're saying is very powerful. I think your experiences does make you the better candidate because to me, a person that's in those higher ranks, he needs to be well versed in all things, not just his experience in things. And what you having based off what you sharing with me is because of your job, you're able to see every side of it. You come from the South Side, you have those de-escalate, those things when they especially when they deal with trauma, you're able to identify that, and that's what a good leader does. He's able to say, "Man, do I have a police or officer on my team that has unchecked trauma?" And that's very important because to be able to identify with trauma and unchecked trauma, you had to have that trauma.
Absolutely.
You had to be able to identify, and those are the things that you bring to the table, and I commend you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Don. All right, we're going to walk around a little bit.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. I appreciate the fact that you highlight, you giving our business some airtime. It's always good when people in the community come and highlight this business. Not a lot of people know we're here. We are growing this business organically, so word of mouth definitely helps us out.
Thanks. All right, Don, we having a conversation. First of all, I like your patio area. Someone, if they want to enjoy a nice cigar, they can come out on the patio, or they can enjoy it in the inside because it has proper ventilation. One of the things that I really like is the doors. Could you tell me something about the doors?
Oh yeah, we really proud of the doors. Those doors have some lineage with Frank Lloyd Wright, the person that he created, actually designed the hotel that those doors came from. He studied under Frank Lloyd Wright, and it's amazing. I found those doors on OfferUp, and we actually got them custom to the size. The city was very pleased with the look we gave them, and we promised them that we was gonna build this building to where when you seen it, you'll be happy about what you seen.
Right.
And what I'm really excited about the patio, we actually in our BYOB permit, they let us bring liquor on the patio.
Okay.
And what's so amazing about it is the city said it wouldn't do the business any justice if you didn't have that in the permit. So people do love coming out here with them a cigar, something to pair with nice, and they can have that on the patio. So my wife, she wanted to really design a nice space, so we actually got 3 heaters on there. You got the fireplace and the 2 on the side, and we got a TV actually on there as well. We put it in a box so the weather won't get to it, but we watch the games out here. Man, people really love it.
Right. All right, let's go inside. You tell me more about the place.
So when you come to the building, we were, I would say, deliberate in the way what we wanted to show people when they first walk in. If you look at this, the first thing you come and see is a picture of me and my wife. And the reason this picture is so special to us is because one of our friends, she created this off a picture that she got offline of me, a picture of my wife she got offline, and she married them together. And she came in, her name is Sonia. She came in and she made that for us, and I actually got it blew up. I actually did this picture and we just framed it out. When I showed my wife this, she actually cried.
Wow.
So she didn't know I was doing this. I showed her that we was gonna do, and I was so proud of it. And it actually has some meaning. If you look at this, you look at it as me, but my wife has my back, and then the city has our back.
All right.
So we actually look at the city is behind us.
Right.
The city of Chicago has our back, is behind us, and my wife has. So it has our back, my wife has my back, and it has meaning.
Wow.
So and then another thing that we do, we actually put cards of the people in the neighborhood here.
Okay.
So man, it's
so you're promoting the business.
No, we're promoting businesses. We want people to come in. And my son just did something I didn't even know he did. He actually took a card from here, cold called the man, and went to lunch with him 2 days ago. I was shocked. He said it went actually
That's
went
awesome.
very well.
Awesome.
And then when you come in, people be so shocked, like, because you don't have any windows, that you can see the inside. First thing you see is this build out.
Yeah.
One of our friends made this build out. We put it together. My wife designed it. I did little things. I covered that up, put the 2 things on the side of it. But when you come in and then you see the difference from what people don't think they're gonna see, because when on the outside, you don't know what to expect when you come inside.
Right.
But when you come inside and you see this, people be blown away because it is the little details. And the first thing we want to do is have this build out, and that's just attention grabber.
Right.
And then it just have people asking all kind of questions.
Okay.
So let's go this way.
Yes. First of all, I admire these chairs right here.
Man, this is my favorite spot. I actually sit right there. These actually came from a beauty shop in Plainfield.
Okay.
I bought these from a beauty shop, and we just put them in. They just super comfortable.
Now, what they in this state, or did you have to
No,
be?
I show you the ones that I covered.
Okay.
No, they was in this state. You understand?
Oh, this is nice.
So they was ready to go. This one right here, I found these on Marketplace. These chairs, they was ready to go. Even his right here. If you look, that's the picture that we got in the front.
Yeah.
And this was something that this is my wife's name, my name. And again, it was something that we wanted to try, and it came out very well. I think it really highlight our love for each other, and that's what we wanted to put there.
Yeah.
This picture right here, just something I found online. I really love this picture. The cigar. And then it was just a picture that, man, I said, man, this will look awesome. And then it was something that we just ordered online.
Nice.
This is where everybody actually take pictures from. So people stand in front of it. A lot of people miss what white smoking ash stand for.
Right.
The white actually is our last name.
Yes.
I was talking to some guys on Saturday. They was like, I never knew that.
Yes.
I'm like, yeah, my last name is White. And then I actually had the name even before we had the building. We had the building not even secured. We were selling T-shirts before we even built it out.
Oh, wow.
Man, the community has been awesome to us. A guy named Rashawn actually helped me build this out. I told my wife I got the name. She was like, what? How you get that name already? I said, man, because I know that's the name. And then if you look at it, we do have hookah, so it actually that's what the O is.
Right.
And then you got the cigar across the A, and it's just, I think, one of the cleanest logos ever created.
So
I know I'm a little biased, but
Yeah.
I think it's just, but when you put it on T-shirts, we got it on socks, hats, cups, whatever, it just looks so clean, man.
It does.
We just love it, man. So we pushing a brand, not a lounge.
I got you.
So, when you talk about the covering of all these, so the lady that we had, she actually covered these chairs. She actually was she was the one, and I'll show you in the back. We so proud of the things that we had because everything we found these on offer up, all the furniture, all the booth seats, all those things we found in Indiana. We went up there and got them. Everything we did it just had a story. I found those seats in Schaumburg, those in the back. You can't even find those chairs. Those chairs are actually 25 years old.
Oh, wow.
The ones with the buttons, with the nail heads in the back.
Okay.
And my wife, she was like, man, how you find this stuff? I was like, I just got to get it because that's what you call vintage. But the good thing about vintage, if you actually feel this stuff, it's super heavy, it's durable. Try to move that chair.
Oh, yeah.
so man, and this right here, these seats, man, she covered these seats. I actually was gonna throw these away, but man, I actually, cause she do them, and she did them. I was so proud. Man, wait till I show you the ones in the back. Man, she got some captain chairs. Man, they just some wingback chairs, and they just came out so well. But let me take you upstairs, and this again. Everything has a story. I think this story you're actually gonna laugh at because this is something that happens constantly. So this is what we call a ladies' lounge. But let me tell you the story about this. This space, me and my wife, she's like, what we gonna do? I said, we should do a ladies' lounge. Get them a space. She said, that won't work. She told me that. And then she laughed because everybody come in and be like, man, Passion, I love that space you created. And me and her just chuckle because they automatically think a lady created this.
Oh,
but it was my idea.
Okay.
She said it wasn't gonna work. But if you look at it, them lips right there was another picture we got printed and framed. The flowers, everything just speak to the women. You look at this right here, the fireplaces, they just love being, and what women love is that you consider them.
Yes.
You consider them, and you built the space for them to break off.
Yes.
And you respect them enough to think about them.
Including them. That's right.
That's right. Inclusion.
You're right. 100%.
I'm so proud of this room as well. And a lot of people don't know this a piece. This actually a pool table.
Oh, wow.
This a piece that if you tried to Google this, you wouldn't find this anywhere.
Really?
I tried to look for this piece, and I found this piece in Frankfurt. I found the guy locally. It was actually natural wood, and he's flipped it to black lacquer.
Okay.
So it was a local guy we used, and man, and just the piece itself, you can't find it. And that's what I loved about it, man. I brought this out of his basement with just me and him. It was heavy, but the piece was beautiful. It fit this room so well because this is our poker room. We call this our poker room. And what's so dope about this, you actually can close the doors. You can control the music, close those doors, and people rent this room out. And what we love about this room as well, you give people, if you look at our lounge, what's different, each room has its own little vibe. And you don't have to worry about what they're doing in there, when you're in here smoking and having a good time. You don't see that in most lounges. They usually one big room.
Right.
And that's where we look at all those things. And like I said, the things that we have done, a local guy that I found, he built out these doors. Man came in, so he built this door, and the one to our office. He came out and did those barn doors. And that's just another guy, Jerry. His name was Jerry, who did that for us. And again, my wife picked out the hustle, the grind, the hustle picture. You know,
like
and
that.
found these pictures. Just man, it was just things that we believe that gave this space some flavor.
It does, it really does.
So even from the mirrors, she was shocked. I found these mirrors. A guy in Hinsdale had these mirrors. We priced these mirrors out hundreds of dollars, but we found this guy, man, who found these mirrors for like $100, and all the ones you seen came from that guy. But that's the research. We knew that we only could get to the finish line by doing the research. And then if you look at even the bathroom, what we have, and it's actually big enough for all of us. What we do is we give people, like even if you look at that.
Wake up with determination, with one idea in mind, to be successful, to make it, to see progress, to get closer to your goal, because the difference between your dreams and your reality shortens the more you hustle and grind. Ignite your passion for action. Stop waiting on luck and make your move.
See that? And if you look at that, it actually speaks to the hustle and grind on the other side.
100%.
You see that? But you want to be able to give people, just you want to empower them.
And that might, somebody coming in here just use the washroom.
Yes.
That might be enough.
It's always that first lead.
I always
That's
say
right.
that. Just
That's
like
right.
me running for sheriff, man.
Yes.
You're nervous, you don't know how you're gonna get there. You pray that God bring the right people in your life, which he has, and you just keep grinding.
That's
little
right.
by little.
That's
little
right.
It starts with speaking in front of people, getting rid of that fear, right?
Yes, sir.
I love this.
Thank you, man. Thank you. We really love the bathroom too.
Yeah.
You know, when people walk around here, they be like, man, how do you know that this place is that big?
Right.
So, excuse me, you got Bill, you got my wife, you got a customer. I think this right here, and this is something. So I told my wife I wanted to make sure we had a bookcase here. This thing serves a dual purpose. Number one, we really focusing on books about diversity.
Right.
Not only that, it's a great conversation piece.
Right.
And this piece itself, I found this piece around the corner at a garage sale for $5.
Really?
Yeah. And we just recessed it in the wall. And again, it just really, and my wife found all the pieces inside. And when people come and see this, they want to talk about it. So actually, some of my best conversations start when I'm sitting there and I see people stop there. I know they open for conversation.
Right.
I always ask them, you see something you like? Or you see something you know, and then now you talk about.
Right.
So there's so many books. Mediocre. This book is very powerful.
That's the first one you offered.
Man, did you ever get it?
Yeah, no, I haven't gotten it yet, but I will.
You gotta get that book.
I will.
You know, and then I want to talk about it. With you. But it's so many things, man. Who Moved My Cheese? I know a lot of people know that book. You understand? But it's about good decision making. But again, it's man, talking about unconscious bias, Strength Finder. So many things, man, to try to empower people to either grab one or let's talk about what you see or what you know, your experiences. So that's why we're really proud of that.
Oh, we were even the countertops, man. This
man, one of the guy who did the build up actually helped us. He purchased these for us when we came in here. So man, me and my wife, we just never did the stuff. Stacked these curtains, did these things. We never did this before, but we figured it out. We found the rails itself in the clearance rack at IKEA. And then it worked out. So even when you look at
now, this is one of my favorite rooms.
Oh man, this room is so powerful because in the wintertime, man, it's just really coming. We got a gas fireplace there.
Oh wow!
Oh man,
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, oh man, and again, all our rooms got the ability to you can Bluetooth. You rent it out. You can close the curtains and Bluetooth if you want to
play your own music.
Yes, sir.
Oh wow! Yeah, I see the speakers in the wall.
Yeah, so one of my friends, we did all the music. Me and my friend Jeff. Me and him did the humidor. We built that ourselves. All those things. Me and him with our own hands. So he helped me with all my cabling, everything, and he was strong and helping us do what we need to do.
Wow.
And one of my closest friends, he actually helped us perfect it. Chuck came in when he came and fixed it. So a lot of different things. But man, everything is synced together, and I'll show you what we did. So these are the chairs. I definitely don't want. So these are the first ones she did for me.
Oh, okay.
I actually was gonna throw these chairs away.
The one lady you were speaking.
The lady, she did 5 of these for me. That was the first thing she did. Now every chair in this room, she did. She did every room. So these chairs I actually bought $15. I paid for the chairs, and she recovered. These chairs is,
Wow.
you sit in those chairs, sit down in those.
Look at the work on it.
Look at the work.
Oh man,
So
it hugs you.
So bad, they definitely hug you, man. And again, like I'm so proud of just the research because even we found this bench right here at the same place that I got the seats on the other side. He gave me all that furniture, and these just fit so well. And but again, if we did not do the research, we couldn't have finished because even with this right here, this was handmade by somebody that I found on Marketplace.
Really?
I said, man, I want this is the size I want. This, and they built these lockers. It's a humidor. They built these lockers and they delivered this to me. And just a great piece. It fit everything that we doing.
Wow.
And again, this if you look at the same thing, we have the same. We look at everything you do.
Right.
Beauty begins the moment you decide to be yourself. You know, that type of things that you want to pop. And this is what we actually see what people do. We catch people here, man, taking pictures, taking selfies, man, and be posting online, and we don't even know they're in here taking pictures. So again, you know, it's just the power of empowering people that we try to do. You know, again, like I was telling you, those antique mirrors.
Yes.
You know, and again, I look at this. My wife is like, I want a cabinet. I want a display cabinet. I found this out here in Shorewood. Man, just the right perfect size. We was looking for this for months, and I finally found it. Man, I was so excited. But look at the detail, and man, it just fit out everything we was doing. I had a local guy, who we met. He put this display in. None of this was here. This wasn't here. These pillars wasn't here. We look at the pictures that we had at first. None of that was there. So we put the display cabinet. He did that for me. Man, we found these, and it just all worked together.
Right.
It just gives it so much flow. You know, we look at everything we did, and I remember when the old owner that we bought this from, he was like, "Oh, that space wasn't gonna work back there," and we just worked.
Made it work.
Man. And we covered. We looked at the white smoking ash. That was a Pepsi sign. Everybody, this guy named Roy, he actually did a lot of work. So powerful, man. We would not have finished if it wasn't for him. He's from my hometown, but his hands all over this place.
Wow.
If you look at the humidor, you know, we put the window in. This was just and this is what people don't know. This actually was a 2-car garage. This was an addition. Yeah, the back part of it. Okay. So every single piece of the wood, the Spanish seat in here, cut by my hand. And my guy Jeff, he actually helped me just put that in too because we wasn't having the right temperature. We just put that in, hole in the wall. We did all that, man. He helped me out so much, but we did that. So man, all this we did ourselves. Man, we put all the drywall, all the installation here. We had somebody come in and help us with the shelves, but we did all that. So man, you know, and then you know, if you look at this, we really proud of, man. I mean, we laugh at this, man. When we first started, when we opened up, we had about 20 boxes. 20 boxes total in here. But this show you how healthy the business is.
The progress.
The progress. And it's been some good days, man, where we was able to learn, grow, get more sticks, and because the business is growing. It's growing real well. Right. And then we was wanting our own stick for so long. Right. You know, but I think, like I said, look at the picture that's inside. Yes. It speaks volumes of who me and my wife is. You know, sometimes we get them with it just the raw, but I love it when we have a picture. Right. Because it speaks to the work we did. And you know, like I said, you got the levers he was asking about. You know, these actually the Marlon Wayans sticks. We the only lounge in Illinois that got this stick. Really? Yes, sir. Wow. Yes, sir. Only ones. And just so excited, man, because they came in, they loved what they seen, and they wanted to do business with us. Wow. That's very powerful. It is. And again, you know, to know that we did this with our own hands, the rug that we ordered offline, there's so many things, just got our own personal touch on these things.
Right. Well, Don, I really appreciate you letting me do this podcast with you. I got one more question.
Yes, sir.
When you were coming up in your neighborhood,
Maywood.
Right, Maywood, how did you perceive the police? As a young man.
I would say because I was not educated, understanding, or had empathy or compassion for them, because I didn't have that, because I wasn't taught that, I didn't appreciate them. But now I understand how important they are to the community. And but I think what I understand as well is that we have to understand them and they have to understand us. Correct. It's a dual thing. But I believe that the police that is successful is the ones that want to learn about the people that they policing or protecting. Right. And those are the ones. And I have grown and have some relationships with the people. And I talk about the one I just did the podcast with. He chased me when I was little, but now our relationship is so powerful because he poured into me. He seen what I am, and again, he took time to say that, man, Don, I want you to make it, and he loved what I turned out to be.
To me, that's community policing at its finest, right?
Yes, sir.
Coming around, actually mentoring kids, making them the best version of themselves before they leave this earth.
Excellent.
So why Crest Hill?
When you ask why Crest Hill, is because the universe said Crest Hill. We came past here, we seen this building, and we asked the questions. The person who sold us to us actually had a deal on the table. When we called him and asked and inquired about the building, he was going to sell it to an investor. But he said he liked our story, and if we were serious, and he said in 10 days I'm going to close on this deal. But if you're serious, I'll take the deal off the table. And he did, and the rest is history.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, and why Crest Hill is because Crest Hill said they wanted us here.
Right.
And that's what I would say.
Right. Well, like I said, Don, you know I'm running for sheriff.
Yes, sir.
Keep me in your prayers. I ask God to direct my path.
Yes,
seriously. And thank you again, brother. I appreciate you. I mean it.
Thank you, bro.
Remember to put God first, chase every dream until it's reality. God bless you.